My girlfriend sat on another man's lap while at a bar. For background, we have been together for 8 years and have a 2-year-old. Few days ago we were on a get-together dinner at a bar from work with all of our colleagues. The night started well, and after a couple of drinks my girlfriend started dancing with another man from the same company but from another city, whom we just met that night. The dance was in no way intimate or physical. I was fine the first few dances, but as the night went on the dances went from few to dozens danced together and I got a little uncomfortable with it. I asked a colleague what she thought about it or if I'm just being silly. She could see how it might seem weird as it is the same dude every dance. And as per my girlfriend, she just felt that they clicked right away humor-wise and really enjoyed fooling around the dance floor. The night went on. When the bar closed we moved to another table before leaving and my girlfriend sat on that man's lap with her arm around him. It made me extremely uncomfortable and made it obvious to them, they didn't care and went on. Few days later I confronted her about it and let her know that I felt humiliated about it. And that it made it worse that she did that in front of our other colleagues whom we know well. She absolutely can't see anything wrong about it and says she has nothing to feel bad about as she didn't meant to be flirting with the man. Despite letting her know how humiliated and disrespected I felt, she stands firm that there's nothing wrong about it and all my emotions are all in my head that I created on my own. I don't know what to make of this. Thoughts? Comnet. It doesn't bode well for your relationship that she didn't see anything wrong with her actions, and then worse, she totally dismissed your feelings on it. Sorry dude. The fact she's not validating your feelings and apologizing for how she made you feel and overall not even trying to see from your POV, is concerning. She doesn't give a shit that you felt humiliated. She's supposed to be your partner and couldn't care less about disrespecting you. You have every right to be pissed. Don't let this go, man. Stick up for yourself. If I were you I'd be planning my escape now, while I have time to do it on my terms. Talk to S lawyer about custody, figure out your living arrangements. Do it quietly. I give it 6 months before she cheats on you for real. This night was a shot across your bow and a display of aggression. Don't ignore the warning signs. She likely can't be negotiated with, given how she doubled down when you tried to talk to her. Take care of yourself, up. Pivot this back on her. If you keep making this about respect, then she can just say I didn't mean to and therefore it wasn't a lack of respect, and in a sense that isn't wrong per se. Instead, well, why the heck is she not acknowledging that sitting on a lap with an arm around a guy, whether she meant to be flirting or not, is flirting? And that it is a worry that all it took was one fun evening and some alcohol and she was willing to go that far. I don't think she needs to beg for mercy or cry or whatever, but I do worry she is going way too far the other way. What she did was definitely not nothing. To be so dismissive feels unfair. Break up with her. Tell her why she publicly disrespected you, which is your perspective whether she agrees or not. Go no contact and block her on everything. Don't look back. A better woman is out there waiting for someone like you. Why am I more shocked about her thinking that sitting on a man's lap and her arm around him at a bar is not a direct form of flirting? And the constant amount of dances? Look, she's either completely naive on professional etiquette in a public setting or she is gaslighting the ever-living shit out of you. She's already halfway out the door, cause she's not caring about your feelings, and likely assumes you're a doormat since she was so flagrant and unapologetic about it. Have a final discussion about boundaries, or just ask how she wants to split up your parenting days so neither of you have to worry about the other's feelings anymore. She lacks emotional intelligence and showed that by invalidating your feelings and dismissing how her actions made you feel. I know folks on this sub tell each other to dump their partners at the slightest offense without context, but the inability to empathize and listen to your partner is possible one of the biggest legitimate red flags out there. And with that, my recommendation is to end the relationship. You aren't being insecure here, you're dumping her because you expressed an emotion and she chose to ignore and invalidate it. You're leaving her for lack of emotional intelligence and empathy. Next story 2. I want to buy a house but don't want to lose my boyfriend. I am a 30-year-old woman. Met this 35-year-old gentleman in January. I know it hasn't been that long but we want to rent together soon as I believe the best way of getting to know someone is to live with them. He lives in a house he bought with his ex. They broke up in February 2022 but the ex was refusing to sell initially. The house is on sale since last November but only had one viewing. The price is too much. The ex refuses to reduce the price and my boyfriend agrees as doesn't want to lose money. He is already losing money each month however as the ex doesn't pay her half. Now I'm in a position to buy a house on my own. At the minute I live near him in a very expensive area and I can't afford to buy here. I will need to move to a more affordable area and neither of us wants a long distance relationship, so it will be the end of us. My rent is extortionate. I feel like I'm losing money by staying here and paying for my landlord's mortgage instead of mine. I tried to come up with alternatives such as moving into his house or him renting out his house or renting together where I pay the majority of the bills till the sale goes through, but he wasn't keen on any of my ideas. He wasn't finding excuses, he genuinely had good enough reasons, but I feel like he will need to bite the bullet if he really loves me as much as he says he does. I love this man, but his recent comment about losing money made me think I need to look out for myself same way he is looking out for himself. No idea what to do. Stay put and keep paying extortionate rent for the sake of the potential of the relationship, or end it and buy a house elsewhere? Comment. Do not struggle financially for your BF who won't find a solution. He's still connected to the ex through the house. Your idea of moving in and paying him rent or him renting it out were great ideas. Maybe he did have good reasons, but you have a great reason to move to an affordable living arrangement. Don't be a dumb woman and give up financial independence for a guy, it always backfires. Just watch Judge Judy. You have only been dating for 9 months. I wouldn't be rearranging your life to accommodate this guy. What if doesn't work out? I would buy the house, at least you would be out of paying rent and building equity. If the relationship is important to both of you, you will find a way to make it work. Look, I get it. You love him. But ultimately you must take care of yourself, just like you said. You want to buy your own place and you should do it. You are exactly right that you are currently paying the landlord's mortgage. If this relationship is meant to be, it will be. You suggested some ideas to BF, and he didn't like them, but none of those ideas you suggested would further your financial stability. Moving in with him, you would no doubt be expected to pay rent toward his mortgage. So, please take care of you. You have only known him 9 months. Do what you need to do, and if he wants to join you on the journey, he is free to do so. Don't tie yourself to a house and a relationship unless there is some reciprocity. Why are we buying a home with a boyfriend? I'm not trying to rain on your parade, but it won't end well. Buy your house and live your best life. I'm not sure how far the distance is, but unless it's in another state, y'all can work it out. I think you need to start thinking like a man, because women are not looking after themselves and to living in poverty during retirement, and men are absolutely looking after themselves and investing in their own future, and he's looking after himself right now. No man is that important that your own security and housing, which is a massive global issue, the young people should be thrown away. From someone who got burned moving in with my boyfriend this time last year, only for him to start an affair a few months later and leading to me now sitting paying for the rent and bills alone. You need to prioritize the decisions that will benefit you. Don't compromise for someone this early in your relationship. It's up to him to find the solution for the situation with his ex, not you. If he wants to live with you, he will find a way. Put it back on him and just tell him what you are planning/intending to do. If he really wanted to be with you, he would figure out a way to do it. He's just stalling. He could also have his lawyer take it in front of the judge to request wife be ordered to lower the price. Take care of yourself. I don't know. I read your comment saying you'd be 5 hours away. I wouldn't want to do that either. And I can understand wanting to stay near him for the time being while he figures out his housing situation. However, I feel incredibly frustrated that he doesn't seem to be open to solutions to his problem. Why the fuck isn't his ex contributing to the mortgage? Is that money he'll get back when the house does sell? And why on earth hasn't it sold? They broke up nearly 2 years ago. You say their asking price is too high, which seems obvious, so are they dumb or something? Based on what you said, he doesn't necessarily sound like the type of person who actively looks for ways to fix his problems. He sounds passive. That would really bother me. For the right person, I'd consider putting my life on hold for a moment, but probably not for this guy. And of course this is all based on what you wrote. I'm sure there's a lot more to the situation you didn't share. Next story 3. My boyfriend says he won't apologize if he doesn't feel sorry. What should I do in this situation? I'm gonna start addressing him as Z. I've had several arguments before with Z because he wouldn't apologize after I told him I was upset about something that he did. That something could be as small as him cutting me off several times while I'm talking, to as big as him playing games for hours and ignoring me. It would take an hour or two for him to finally genuinely apologize to me because he didn't understand why I was upset and I had to explain in full length. I was talking with Z and he kept cutting me off by talking about super random stuff which led me to repeat myself 3 times. I couldn't even finish the sentence I started. After the 4th cut off, I was quite annoyed and raised my voice a little, to which he responded with, "Why are you being upset?" I told him that I was upset because he kept cutting me off and I had to repeat myself several times. Z told me that he didn't hear me, but he clearly did the first time because he was responding to what I was saying. He then told me that I should speak up and it's not his fault for cutting me off because he didn't hear me, so it was unintentional. I asked Z if he was going to apologize and he said no because he doesn't understand why it was so upsetting to me and he genuinely believes he did nothing wrong. He then asks me why I yelled at him and I told him he made me feel upset, which made me raise my voice. And to clarify, I did not yell. I spoke in a louder volume but it was not yelling. Z proceeds to lecture me saying he didn't make me yell, I made myself yell. Verbatim he told me, "You are responsible for your own actions. I did not make you yell. You made that decision yourself." This made me angrier and I explained to him that his actions and my actions were like a cause and effect. His actions of cutting me off made me upset, therefore making me raise my voice. I then asked him again, if he really wasn't going to apologize even after I stated what I was upset about. He again said no because if he put himself in my shoes, he wouldn't be this upset. I asked Z to clarify what he meant and he said if he genuinely doesn't feel sorry, then he won't apologize because it's a fake apology. I'm quite baffled about this. If someone told me I did something that unintentionally or accidentally made them feel upset, I would apologize saying it was never my intention to put them in that position. It makes me understand why I had to have an hour or 2 to fully explain why I was upset in previous arguments, because unless he fully understands my emotions, he won't apologize. He also has a habit of turning the blame on me or finding something I did in reaction to what made me upset, and it gets very frustrating because the whole argument would have never happened if he just apologized from the start. I'm starting to wonder if I overreacted. What should I do in this situation? Comment. He didn't unintentionally interrupt you and he's not sorry he did it or that it upset you. It would genuinely be a fake apology. Why would a fake apology be acceptable to you? Or more to the point, why are you dating someone so selfish and downright rude? His behaviors and his words are telling you that you are not being respected. He is putting the blame of his bad behaviors on you. He is also gaslighting you about what you should be feeling, when you already know what you are feeling. He is not in charge of your feelings or emotions, but he is in charge of his behavior, and you are calling out his bad behaviors. It will not get better. This is him on his good behavior. He will just get more abusive than he already is. It is not your job to teach an adult what proper behavior is. I made that mistake once and almost lost my home, my child, and my life. What if his feelings are equally valid to yours? I suspect this bickering is a surface expression of your real issue with him. If I had to guess, it's that you want him to choose to spend more time with you, to talk to you. If he can't, or won't, that doesn't make him a bad person. He may feel perfectly fine with the status quo. If you can't accept it, however, then you should break up. Just stop and ask him, were you born an or did someone teach you that? Who told you that acting like this was acceptable in an honest relationship? Note, I am one of the people telling you this treatment is not deserved, and I have to ask why you haven't left this person. What you see now is what he is really like. Forget how he treated you when you first met him.